Hi students, coming to the next class is the properties of monosaccharides, right? See, these are also properties of the carbohydrates, but especially here we are discussing about the monosaccharides. That's the reason why mostly we consider as the properties of monosaccharides. Remember, no doubt about it, these are also properties of the carbohydrates. Optical activity, remember whatever that compounds which are shows or which are respond with the light, See, carbohydrates also have the capacity to respond with the light. So based on that, this one is called as optical activity. Very simple. Within this activity, one of the solution we have taken, this is one of the beaker. Within that beaker we prepared one of the solution. The solution is the carbohydrate solution. So here the beaker contains solution. The solution contains the glucose. So this is one of the source of plain polarized light. So we are passing the plain polarized light. Onto the solution. If the light is shifted to the right side, okay, that compounds are called as dextrorotatory compounds. If the light is shifted to right side, that compounds are called as dextrorotatory compounds. Very simple. We prepared one of the glucose solution, right? Whatever that we prepared the solution, upon the surface of the solution we are passing the plain polarized light, then the light is shifted to the right side, towards the right side, right? So that kind of activity showing compounds are called as dextrorotatory compounds. Dextrorotatory compounds. Right, coming to the next one is the levorotatory compounds. Here, levorotatory compounds, if the light is shifted to the left side. So, light is shifted to the left side. So, same, yeah, plain polarized light, but this time we are taking here maybe the fructose solution. We change the solution, right? So if the light is shifted to the left side, this time these compounds are called as levorotatory compounds. So within the carbohydrates, okay, by the passing plain polarized light, okay, see, the compounds have the capability to send the light either right hand direction or left hand direction. So the light is passing, we are passing the plain polarized light, okay, then the light is bending towards the right side in one case, towards the left side in another case, towards the right side. So that compounds are called as dextrorotatory compounds. Towards the left side, that compounds are called as levorotatory compounds. So that is about that optical activity of monosaccharides or the carbohydrates. And coming to the next one is the asymmetric carbons. We know the asymmetric carbon means the carbon, okay, one of the carbon molecule interact with the 4 different types of molecules. So that kind of carbons are called as asymmetric carbons, which are also called chiral carbons. See, this is one of the glucose structure, CHO, right? This is the OH, H, and this is the H, and this is the OH, and this is the OH, and this is the H, and this is the OH, H, right? So this is the CH2OH. So this is the structure of glucose. See, the glucose having 4 asymmetric carbons. So how glucose having 4 asymmetric carbons? You said the definition, the carbon atom interacting with the four different types of molecules, right? So that kind of carbons are called as asymmetric carbons. See, this is the carbon CHO, HOH. This is the carbon, sir. This is the carbon, sir. This is the carbon, sir. Or suppose second one. This is the carbon. This is the carbon, right? HOH. And again, this one is also carbon. Sir, how this can be asymmetric carbon? How this can be asymmetric carbon? So some students may got a doubt like this. Okay, don't think carbon and carbon. See, this is the carbon. This is the CHO group. And this is the another one group. This is another one group. So this is the total chain connected to this carbon. This is the total chain connected to this carbon. So this is another complete different structure, right? So here next one is, this is the one of the this is the first asymmetric carbon, right? And this is the second one. So for second one, this is the one structure connected to the carbon, and this is another structure connected to the carbon. So these are the two different structures. Right? So other different one is that hydroxyl group and the hydrogen. So this is about the second asymmetric carbon, right? And coming to the third asymmetric carbon, here this is the third one. Because this is one structure and this is another structure. Right? So this is the third asymmetric carbon, right? So this is the fourth one. Because this is one structure and this is another structure. So this one is the fourth one. So within the glucose, 4 asymmetric carbons are present. And fructose, 3 asymmetric carbons. Within the fructose, see, this is for glucose. For fructose is the 3. So if we observe the fructose structure, here there is an CH2OH, right? And this is the C double bond O. And H, and this is the OH, and this is the OH, and this is the H, and this is the OH, and this is the H, and this is the CH2OH. So this is not the asymmetric carbon, and this one is also not the asymmetric carbon. So remaining these three are asymmetric carbons. In the case of fructose. So within the fructose, 3 asymmetric carbons are there, and within the glucose, 4 asymmetric carbons are there, right? And that is about the asymmetric carbons. Asymmetric carbons are very important, so which are also called chiral carbons. And coming to the next one is the epimers. For epimers, definition is having same molecular formula. But differ at single carbon atom contain functional group arrangement. See, epimers having same molecular formula, but they differ at the arrangement. Okay, especially at the single carbon atom. So these are called as epimers. Then we'll discuss about the structure of the epimers. Right? See, First one, we know the well-known structure is the glucose, CHO, right? This is the OH, this is the H, and this is the H, and this is the OH, this is the OH, and this is the H, and this is OH, H, CH2OH. This is the structure of glucose. Formula is C6H12O6, right? And coming to the next one is galactose. Here CHO, OH, H, and H. This is the OH, and this is the H, and this is the OH, and this is the OH, and this is the H, and this is the CH2OH. So this is the structure of galactose. This is the structure of galactose. Here formula is C6H12O6. And coming to the next one, mannose. In the mannose, CHO, right? This is the H and this is the OH, and this is the H and this is the OH. So this is the OH, H, this is the OH, H, and this is CH2OH. This is the structure of mannose. The structure of mannose. So this one molecular formula is C6H12O6, right? So here we have to discuss about the first line, having same molecular formula, C6H12O6, 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 all the cases having same molecular formula, but they differ at single carbon atom. For suppose this one is similar, this one is similar, this one is similar, right? This one is different. See here hydroxyl group presented this side. Here hydroxyl group is presented opposite side, right? So here arrangement of hydroxyl group is differ, especially at the number of carbon atom is 4. At 4th carbon atom, okay, the glucose and galactose, the arrangement of hydroxyl groups are differ. Remaining the total structure is same. And coming to the mannose, see CHO, right? Here OH, here OH. So this one is the different. So here mannose and glucose, which are differ at the second carbon atom. Mannose and glucose, which are differ at the second carbon atom. So glucose and galactose, which are epimers, but they differ at 4th carbon atom. Okay, glucose and mannose, epimers, which are differ at the second carbon atom. So what I am telling here, epimers, which are having same molecular formula, but they differ at the single carbon atom contains functional group. So if we discuss about that mannose and the glucose, in this case they differ at only the second carbon atom. The remaining structure is same. If we discuss about the glucose and galactose, okay, they differ at only the 4th carbon atom. So glucose and galactose is epimers at the 4th carbon atom. Glucose and mannose epimers at the second carbon atom. So these structures are called as epimers. And next one, how the glycosidic bond formation takes place, right? We'll discuss. Yeah, coming to the next topic is the glycosidic bond formation. We know there is a group of monosaccharides are there, and these monosaccharides are joined by the linkage is called as glycosidic linkage, or the bond is also called glycosidic bond. So whatever that polysaccharides are there, oligosaccharides are there, within polysaccharides, within oligosaccharides, definitely linkage is required. That linkage is nothing but glycosidic linkage. So how the glycosidic bond formation takes place? All of you remember, this is the first position, second and third, fourth, fifth, and this is the sixth position. So within the glucose we know C6H12O6, and this one is also same thing. Here the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, and sixth one. So this is also glucose. Here linkage is the C6H12O6. That is about the number of carbon atoms within that glucose. All of you remember how these two monosaccharides are joined, or how the glycosidic bond formation takes place. Just this is the one of the OH structure, and this is the one of the H structure, right? See, during the glycosidic bond formation, so this combination will be removed in the form of water. So during glycosidic bond formation, water molecules are removed. Whatever that remaining oxygen content is there, that oxygen content involved in the glycosidic bond formation. So this bond is called as glycosidic bond. Then here, this is the fourth carbon atom, and this is the first carbon atom. So the linkage between first and fourth carbon atom. See, both the hydroxyl groups are presented the downside. Here hydroxyl group is presented. Here hydroxyl group is presented downside. Here hydroxyl group also presented the downside. So the position is called as alpha 1,4 linkage. See, other type of linkage also present. Other type of linkage means, see here OH is present. This is the OH, and here another OH is present. This is the H, right? So here bond is formed between these two. Here also one water molecule is removed, and the bond is formed between first and fourth. But the hydroxyl group positions are different. So that kind of linkage is called as beta 1,4 linkage. So here there is an alpha 1,4 linkage formation, there is an beta 1,4 linkage formation will occur within the carbohydrates, especially oligosaccharides or polysaccharides. So this is about the glycosidic bond formation. See, I like to explain here one of the important point is, these are the two monosaccharides forms one glycosidic bond, right? And 3 monosaccharides forms 2 glycosidic bonds. 4 monosaccharides forms 3 glycosidic bonds. Here formula is N-1. N is total number of monosaccharides minus 1. Then that one is equals to the number of glycosidic bonds. For suppose in a polysaccharide 2701, monosaccharides are present. How many number of glycosidic bonds are present? So there is an N-1. So the number of glycosidic bonds are 2700, because we have to apply here the formula is N-1. So that is about the calculation of glycosidic bonds, right? So this is about the types of glycosidic bonds and how the glycosidic bonds are formed. Remember, glycosidic bond formed by the dehydration reaction means one water molecule is removed. One glycosidic bond, one water molecule. 2000 glycosidic bonds, 2000 water molecules. Number of water molecules are equals to here number of glycosidic bonds, or number of glycosidic bonds are equals to the number of water molecules are removed, right? So that is about the glycosidic bond formation. And next one we'll discuss about the types of monosaccharides. See, within that monosaccharides based on number of carbon atoms, again these are classified. This is very easy, and we'll discuss now. Coming to the next one is the classification of monosaccharides based on number of carbon atoms. Here there is an first one is the trioses, means 3 carbon contains monosaccharides. Best example is the dihydroxy acetone, right? And the other one is the glyceraldehyde. Okay, right. So here dihydroacetone and glyceraldehyde, these are the best examples for the trioses. Okay, means 3 carbon contain monosaccharides. Tetroses, 4 carbon contain monosaccharides. Here 4 carbon contain, the fine example is the erythrose. See, the erythrose is one of the important sugar for the formation of RBC cell membrane. RBC cell membrane is majorly formed by the erythrose sugar. So there is a comparison is also there, erythrose sugar, right? Erythrocyte, right? And coming to the next one, pentoses. See, the monosaccharides are having 5 carbon atoms, right? So here the fine example is the ribose. Other one is the deoxyribose. So whatever that DNA, whatever that RNA is there within the DNA, deoxyribose is present. Within that RNA, ribose sugar is there. So the sugars are pentoses. These are also called pentose sugars. And next one is the hexoses. 6 carbon contains sugars. So here the hexose means which contains that 6 carbon sugars. We well known, the best examples are glucose. One of the best examples is the glucose. Other one is the fructose. Other one is the galactose, right? Other one is the mannose. Right? So that is about the hexose. So here 6 carbon atoms are present. Glucose is the best example. Fructose is the best example. Galactose is the best example. Mannose is the example, right? And next one is the heptose. Here 7 carbon atoms are present. Okay, see, 7 carbon atoms are present which are called as heptoses. The example is pseudoheptulose. The sugar is the pseudoheptulose. So here 7 carbon atoms are present, right? So that is about the classification of monosaccharides. So here trioses, tetroses, pentoses, hexoses and the heptoses. Remember, some names are given for the glucose. Glucose is also called as blood sugar. Fructose is called as fruit sugar. Galactose is called as brain sugar. Why galactose is called as brain sugar? Whatever that neurons are there, the neurons especially formed by that galactose. Whatever that membranes are there, the membranes are majorly formed by the galactose, right? That is about that some of the properties of the monosaccharides and see the classification of monosaccharides. So next one we will discuss about the oligosaccharides.